India and China have reached an agreement on the disengagement of troops from north and south banks of Pangong Lake in eastern Ladakh, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said in Rajya Sabha today. Under the agreement, Singh said both sides will cease their forward deployments in the phased, coordinated and verified manner in these areas. The Defence Minister assured the House that India has not conceded anything while entering into the disengagement process, adding there is some outstanding issue with regards to deployment and patrolling at some points along the LAC in the eastern Ladakh.
मैं इस सदन को कुछ और महत्वपूर्ण डेवलपमेंट्स के बारे में बताना चाहता हूं। सभापति महोदय, पिछले वर्ष सितंबर से दोनों पक्षों ने एक दूसरे के साथ मिलिट्री और डिप्लोमेटिक चैनल्स द्वारा संवाद स्थापित कर रखा है। हमारा यह लक्ष्य है कि LAC पर डिसएंगेजमेंट तथा यथास्थिति हो जाए ताकि पीस एंड ट्रैंक्विलिटी पुनः स्थापित हो सके।
Wards of policemen who died while discharging their duties took out a rally and held a protest against the government in Jammu on Thursday for not granting the employment and on the compassionate grounds under the Statutory Regulatory Order 43. The Statutory Regulatory Order 43 guarantees compassionate employment to a kin of militancy victims in Jammu and Kashmir. Scores of protesters took a rally and raised slogans against the Chief Secretary, accusing him of failing to approve the files necessary for grant of government jobs to the wards of deceased police personnel. The minimum temperature in the most parts of the Kashmir dropped on Thursday, but there was some improvement in Srinagar even as the MET office forecast dry weather for the next few days. Srinagar, the summer capital of Jammu and Kashmir, recorded a low of -0.4 degrees Celsius last night, up from the previous night's -1.6 degrees Celsius. The meteorological office has said the weather is expected to remain dry mainly for the week ahead. The People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration won the election for the post of the chairperson for the District Development Council in Anantnag district held on Thursday. The PAGD is an amalgam of 6 parties seeking the restoration of the special status of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. In the fourth phase of the poll on Thursday, the elections were conducted in Anantnag district in the South Kashmir, and PAGD, which also includes the National Conference and the People's Democratic Party, won both the posts of chairperson as well as the vice chairperson. Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad on Thursday said the government respects social media for empowering common people, but actions will be taken if it is misused to spread fake news and violence. In response to legal requests from the central government, Twitter on Wednesday informed that it has taken multiple enforcement actions, including permanent suspensions of over 50 accounts for clear violation of Twitter rules. Indian Army is training its soldier officers for the high-altitude operations at High Altitude Warfare School in Gulmarg, Jammu and Kashmir. According to the Army officers, training in the new techniques with the latest equipment shapes skills of the soldiers for successful rescue operations on challenging snowy terrain. The training is given to soldiers to smooth operations in the extremely harsh climates. High Altitude Warfare School trains at least 540 soldiers in a year. India has become the fastest country in the world to achieve over 70 lakh vaccinations against the COVID-19 in the only 26 days, while it took 27 days for the US and 48 days for UK to reach the same figure, the Union Health Ministry said on Thursday. The ministry also highlighted that 17 states and UTs have not reported any deaths in the last 24 hours. India's active cases per million population is amongst the lowest in the world. Tanks and infantry combat vehicles of India and China started disengaging from both banks of Pangong Lake as a part of disengagement process between the two countries along the line of actual control. Sources said under the first phase of disengagement, the tanks of India are being moved back towards the Neoma and adjoining areas, while the Chinese are taking them back beyond Sirichap and Moldo garrison.